is Hunter's World Gaming. Welcome to the final side story in Doki Literature Club Plus, called Self-Love. We definitely unlocked all six side stories, but if we finish the entire six side story, another notification in my mail is gonna pop up. Also some new music, pictures, and everything, my bros, for that. So anyway, welcome to Self-Love. Let's see how we how we progress through this with Natsuki and Yuri. So anyway, let's do Self-Love. Part 1 and Part 2. Anyway, let's begin the side story, my bros. I've watched Figaro before. One of my amazing friends from Japan has played Doki Literature Club Plus. But to my surprise, I thought she has played the 2017 one for the very first time. But I think I definitely spoiled, and she was like, sorry, no spoilers, please. And I was like, what? I thought you remembered 2017 version of the game. But I guess not. Okay, anyway, here she's back at it again to do more Doki Literature Club Plus. Speaking of Figaro, one of my amazing friends and me from Japan, if you haven't seen her channel, the link will be down in the description below. Subscribe to her, join the notification squad, and see how she plays a lot of games. Even some other cover songs, or some singing live streams and all that. I've been watching him. I always call him Fagabro. What Fagabro? Or Fagabra. Brah! Okay, anyway, guys. Let's do this. It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting on the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students was making her feel more anxious, even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Okay, now we're back at this hallway again. Because this staircase is under maintenance. No student would have any reason for coming here. I thought that was a hallway, but I guess it's just a stairway. Why is it staying? Why is it staying? What is this? Is this a sign right there? Imagine if there was an Easter egg. That would be much more creepy right now. It's such a relaxing feeling that I have a moment of solitude in the middle of the frantic school day. Well, what now? Oh, there we go. There's Natsuki. Eep! What are you doing here? It's just... Yuri grips her book, with enough force to wrinkle the page beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink, from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri, notices Natsuki, fidgeting with the few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shovels over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets within the place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea, but instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I know what's gonna happen, brah. I mean, that's not what I meant. Really, I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing, or whatever I like. I can see how it suits you so. Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. What? It's okay. Everything's okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. As seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Oh, I'm hearing thunder outside. Yeah, another rain is coming. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap of her drink and takes a sip. Okay, we got soccer tryouts, bake sale, and we got the music club concert. Very, very smart. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything anymore. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason, I don't know why. But I want to eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. We're still at this freaking stairwell anymore. Not anymore. It's just still at the stairway. It's the next day. Well, here is the stairway still? Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does so. Today, she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this, because there aren't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to tower around it. But it's okay that I'm here. Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, like, they'll just assume I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them, exactly. But I just don't want it to come up again now after I wanted so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. And Sayuri, but that's different cause she's not exactly into it. She just likes it. You know what I mean. Honestly, you're like that to the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have this thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually, I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from the few years ago would have benefited from the good smack across the face. Oh, whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used the pussy nuts on him. What is that? Never heard of that word. But I like it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if a few years from now, we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you uncomfortable. No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand at her face and forcefully slaps her own cheek. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile, even though, as though it was a really funny joke. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You say you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. The conversation ends quickly and Natsuki opens her book. The two read silently for the remainder the lunch hour. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by the twist of regret overhanging so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. Still here again? You're back. Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. Lay low reminds me of Josh Turner. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices the bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. What, like for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And that is a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do. It wasn't the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses and nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. So I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes a drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay, thank you. You can't thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when you're all just having fun, but they also can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. It's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it, because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not gonna demand for everyone around me to change. But I know. Monica and Sayuri really don't agree with that kind of thing, but they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment for myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yes. That's weird. Why Natsuki's face? So smiley as shit. She's so savage. Sorry. Okay, now you should stop being savage. Very cool. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so... I don't know, does that mean I should keep going? If you like, okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot. And we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. Oh, I'm bad at a lot of those things. So, are those all things that are important to you? Well, kind of. But they're not things I needed to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that. But I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayuri likes your baking. And she makes you laugh. And she complains a lot. That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't talk that way about my friends? That you don't know anything about. Natsuki stands up. No, wait! I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that, I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and like measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. A moment of silence stretches between them. Music stopped. And it changed. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. That's why, that's why my friends with them and that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts. Like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong, and they're all like, "Aw, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands is that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're also nice. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive, like I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated, especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I've never felt with real people. So in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? It's that hard for you to be around people? Like all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes and all of that, I don't know what to do, and I just disengage. Oh, that doesn't get lonely. I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. Wait, yeah? Me too. Really? A lot. Like more than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence. One full of understanding. Alright, now we got the side stories too. So, well, where's my cursor? So, you're supposed to left click. That gets you to just go right here. Okay, there's self-love part 2. Anyway, let's do it yet again, bros. Let's see if we can accomplish more. We're almost, There's one more side story and we're finished. Hey. Oh, hello. I almost thought you were coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with. So I figured I would share with him too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes? You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown with dark green frosting, immaculately shaped into the floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. How pretty! I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it. I just made them. I guess. I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, but that's not really. Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. I love green tea. What? Oh, do you? It was just a random idea I wanted to try, so... Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them from past experience. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, well, I don't know. It kind of just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyway. It's like baking is like art. But when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and at that moment you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel valued? Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool. And that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it, especially since I have somewhere to go now, when I don't feel like hanging out with him. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad that the situation is resolved, and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. I know that. That cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me. But it's the best I could do. Hold on a second. I need some water. I think I'm getting a little warm. Okay, there we go. But it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded, but I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into arms. This is a soundtrack I never heard yet. I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. No, this can't be. You're crying. And it makes me want to cry too. And I can't think of even the single thing about myself that somebody will like. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person. Like to be nice and do the things that you wrote about in the letter. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things too about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say. And later I feel like I said all the wrong things. And I just spent so much time thinking about myself, hating myself and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. That's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person, so don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people will like, so... Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around, and you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh, and you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead, and you care a lot about other people, and just a lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile, then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it is the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I don't really know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles, which she thinks to herself. What would you do? Hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you. Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with a little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused. Because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, to end it. With them? Yuri and Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. That I wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it, so much that it feels like that's just how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know, a lot of things. Like being alone, not having anyone to talk to or hang out with, not being able to replace what I have with them. And I don't want them to hate me. And I'm just scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki, what? If anyone thinks to cause you harm, I will unleash hell upon them. What? You'll unleash hell? Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that. That's all. Oh, well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. Well, I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds onto that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. Ah, you're here first today. And you brought reading material? Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding the volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Like it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. It makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I want it to go on forever. Maybe. But there are some things that I wish could. On the other hand, yeah, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Yeah, definitely. I can think of it at least one thing I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through, and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something has to end. But it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material, except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends at the mall or downtown or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, you know? Oh, my bad for making assumptions. Well, I'm sure I'll go out less often than other people, like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter, it's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask anyway? I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and pulls her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier, telling them. And then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, that's... I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely above the whisper. Help me! I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help, I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods her through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the top behind her. Then she pulls her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes much more apparent though. Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe place. Where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she could practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. That's what I do now. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep breath, slow breath. Beneath her hands, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together. Although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles, while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out. And the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in the safe and comfortable physical space. I can hear the voices too. Minutes pass in silence. By now the worst of it has passed. But Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off the knees and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may or may not. We could take measures to help prevent it in the future. But I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts. But something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it, and that has taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. I've never seen this scene yet. Okay, so the scene from Self-Flow Part 2? Side story, yeah. Do you really mean that? Yeah, you're probably gonna regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places? I see. But you already said it, so you can't take it back now. Ah. Oh, I never heard of this soundtrack. Yes! Okay, that should be in the music one, too. And in the pictures as well. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility, then. Mm-hmm. I know a good ice cream place. Oh! That means you'll finally figure out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor? But for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Oh wait, yes, I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. Well, I don't think it was gross. I just got disgusted by accident about that flavor. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I don't remember in one of those latest episodes of this game. It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How is that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry's my favorite. Oh, what a coincidence. They're happy together. Holy shit! I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I'll still have the sick feeling in my stomach. But it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that will make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. But I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helps me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I like to be treated, and the kinds of friends that I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Oh, well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I may have tracked you down first. With the help of Sayori, but you said, I was shy, okay? It wasn't really to like. It wasn't ready to like. Whatever you know what I'm saying, well, I guess I'm glad that you worked up the courage. Even if it was in your own way, I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean like you? Yes, like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much, fine. Just a little then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now. But I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Thanks. It feels like nice to be reassured. The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch, but a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting, where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them, with all their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself, since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend will be the great time to visit the bookstore. Together. Oh, that's it? We got the mail here. So hang on a second now. This is staying focused on our goals. So as a reminder to help guide our data collection, any analysis performed should be focused on answering some of these main questions. How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's emotional state, values, and goals? How does someone effectively navigate an experiment with their ability to change the contents of their VM? How is elevated access being weaponized? What actions and values most contribute to the destruction of the universe? Most importantly, how might your observations apply to our own universe? Bonus, how can we present this to upper management as an operation that benefits the company? Unrelated note, whoever changed the color scheme of the desktop to pink, can you please change it back? It's unprofessional and it runs the risk of drawing eyes? And it runs the risk of drawing eyes? What? Okay, now we got new pictures here. So that's it? So we got the wallpapers. Very smart. Okay, I can scroll down. Thank you. Those are notes I think I never read them before. Okay, what is this here? Scene from a side story, self-love. Oh, what's the next one here? Well, okay. I guess that's it. Alright, guys. I'll be continuing with this game. So there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs throughout the game. I'm not sure what to do then. But I'm going to get as most as I could. So anyway, thank you so much for watching now another episode of Doki Literature Club Plus. Now we finally finished all the side stories we actually done. So anyway, I really want to thank you so much for watching the side stories with me. I'll continue with the original Doki Literature Club next time. And we'll get some Easter eggs involved and everything. If you really enjoyed this video, as always, make sure you drop the like button, stay 20% cooler, be ready for the real action. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone!